So good day everyone watching for this episode. We are at the Zhubanov University. My name is Dastan Khussainov. I'm the Vice-Rector for Strategic Development. And we have our guests from the Heriot-Watt University visiting us today. And here we have Mrs. Beata, who is the Deputy Director for International Development of the Heriot-Watt University, and Professor Graeme White, who is the Academic Director for the programs that we're offering at the Heriot-Watt campus. So welcome to all of you. It's great to have you here today. So I will slowly proceed to the questions. And the number one question would be, could you please explain about the Heriot-Watt University and what is it doing in Kazakhstan? Some of our viewers do not know about this project, so I think it would be helpful to hear from the first.
Thank you, Dastan. First of all, we're very happy to be here, and we've been coming to Kazakhstan for over 18 months now, and we always come here very much welcomed, and we feel this is almost like our second home now. So Heriot-Watt University has a unique history of 200 years. It's always been a pioneering institution, providing access to education, affordable education to working people, education which is in line with industry needs. And over the past 2 years, we evolved into an institution operating all around the world. So we have campuses in Dubai, Malaysia. We also operate on 3 sites in Edinburgh. So our view is that the Heriot-Watt ethos, the education which reflects the needs of working people, the needs of society in terms of technical and scientific education, we'd like to bring that to many parts of the world. And that was one of our considerations, that Kazakhstan is a country where there's a very specific national policy, very well articulated economic policy, which sees education as a key pillar of advancement in the future and the investment in that education, to create a knowledge society where citizens and individuals are well trained. And this is where Heriot-Watt would like to, wanted to partner with a Kazakh institution, and Zhubanov University playing a key role in west of Kazakhstan in the economic development. This meant an immense opportunity for us to deliver on our mission as an institution, and also deliver this mission with Zhubanov University, where we felt that the strategy, the vision aligns very clearly with our priorities. So that's how we ended up in Kazakhstan and ended up in Aktobe working with.
Thank you very much. In your answer, you mentioned that it's a bicentennial university, isn't it? Almost 200 years old. What was the founding year of the Heriot-Watt?
1821.
1821.
So it's been 2 centuries and 3 years already. So yeah, quite a period of time. And just for our viewers, can we explain the founders of the Heriot-Watt, or maybe the person after whom the Heriot-Watt has been named?
So Heriot-Watt's founding fathers included James Watt, of course, who's very well known around the world.
Yep.
He was one of the fathers in Industrial Revolution. His name is captured as the unit of energy. I think anyone who studies physics and engineering would be familiar with this. So he played a key part in creating this institution, with others as well. But when people come to our campus in Edinburgh, they can meet James Watt in a statue form. That's the first thing they see when they arrive.
Yes, he has a little compass on his hand normally. Compass, is that a compass for engineering? I think what's unique about James Watt was didn't invent the steam engine, but played a major part in improving the efficiency, better energy efficiency, which I think we are still in the world today, which needs that type of knowledge and skills.
Actually, that's important. I saw that Mr. Watt was the one to found the steam engine. Apparently not, but
he gained a lot of reputation in making it more efficient, increasing steam pressure, and that's led to the steam revolution. So I think that's the important thing. It
is certainly. Well, plus the fact that the actual unit of power, right? I just recall it from the physics classes, is actually after James Watt. Thank you for your answer. So you mentioned several locations across the globe, such as Malaysia, Dubai, Edinburgh. So in your opinion, what would be the difference between those locations and, let's say, the campus in Aktobe, if any?
In Kazakhstan, in Aktobe, we felt it was a great opportunity for us to work with a local university, a local partner, and create programs where students would study and gain degrees from both institutions. And this would give us the opportunity to create academic communities, a unique academic community whereby Heriot-Watt academics and Zhubanov academics come together, work on the programs, work on research, and create a global community, which is reflective of our work anyway, Heriot-Watt, because this is how the institution works with our other sites. So this is a unique approach. We call it One Heriot-Watt, which means there's one institution having programs exactly the same delivered on all our sites. Students study towards the same learning outcomes. The graduate attributes are exactly the same. So when they graduate, they receive a certificate which says Heriot-Watt. Of course, we have localization and contextualization. We work with our local environment, which informs the programs and the content of the programs. But we believe in academic integration, having the same academic team delivering on different sites, and this is what we are doing in Aktobe.
So that's unification, let's say, for the programs, right? So you mentioned the certificate, but I think I need to correct this notion that diploma is probably the word that we should use, because our viewers are certainly well aware of the diploma. So it's a Heriot-Watt diploma, is it not?
That's right, yeah. So the students go through 4 years of study, of undergraduate study, and they graduate with an undergraduate diploma. You're right. We use different words, for the paper the students receive at the end of their studies, but it's a full diploma. It's a full Heriot-Watt diploma. It's identical to all the other diplomas we issue around the world. And it's very important for us because this is how we can ensure the quality of the education, the quality of learning, teaching, and the delivery. That's always been absolutely key to Heriot-Watt. Wherever we deliver against the same standards. And this is how the students could benefit from all our collective academic knowledge and research, which are part of the program.
I think it's, as well as important as Beata said, it's one certificate. It doesn't say where the student studied.
Let's just use the diploma word so that our viewers would understand that. That's fine. Yeah, just a clarification. No, I think that should stay in the podcast. Yeah.
The qualification that they'll get is doesn't say where the student is graduated from. So that's our model, and I think we're a bit unique in most of the international institutions that we have that one diploma certificate without any reference to the location.
I see. So one unique diploma for all locations without any specifications, which actually highlights the standards provided everywhere, the same standards. Now, I should also add, along with the Zhubanov University diploma, right? Because it's a joy, and I'm just clarifying for our viewers.
This is actually the unique opportunity here for students, that they can actually go through the program and gain 2 diplomas, one from Heriot University and one from Zhubanov University. But this is a lot more than a dual program, because we're building an academic community. We will be engaging in research. In fact, our academic colleagues are already working together on papers. So this is just a start, and we are hoping that this partnership will see the addition of master's courses, more research. So it will become a site of learning, international learning and teaching and research.
I think as well it's important that the direction that Heriot-Watt's going in terms of research with sustainability, energy transition is similar to what you're experiencing or your desires in Kazakhstan. So as Beata says, the alignment between Zhubanov and Heriot-Watt is
much deeper
than
the actual academic programs. I should also add in that it's all, this opportunity is being offered fully government funded, government scholarship, and I think this adds upon the value of the actual program. Thank you very much. So we mentioned the campus, and Heriot-Watt has been mentioning the campus within a campus approach, at least to the Zhubanov side. Any comments on this one? Any clarification you could provide?
A campus on campus is perhaps a new concept, not just here in Kazakhstan, but in other parts of the world. This gives Heriot-Watt certainly the opportunity to have a much more deep and much more integrated relationship and partnership with Zhubanov University, with the academic expertise here, because we can come here, here's our base, this can be our seat of learning, and also teaching and delivery. So this format gives much more of an opportunity to create together, to co-create together in terms of learning and then research, rather than creating just a site which we visit.
Speaking of your current visit, so maybe you could elaborate on the purpose of the current visit.
Yeah, sure. Our previous visits has really been to establish the first year through the offering for our global college to take students through English and the basic sciences. Now we're transitioning into delivering the core engineering programs that we're offering here, and it's important to establish the resources that we have available on campus, the pattern of visits that we're going to have between colleagues at Edinburgh into Zhubanov University throughout the academic year, and then set the seeds for establishing stage 3 and eventually stage 4. So it's important for us to come over this time of year to make sure everything is on track for delivery in September.
So effectively preparation for the upcoming year 2, which is going to be quite crucial, as well as recruitment of the new students, which is upcoming. And I'm going to mention the period is July 13th, July the 24th, which is the day X per se, the week X per se.
We have those dates on our calendars, and we'll be coming over as well to assist you with the recruitment of new students into the cohort. I think whenever we're over, we get a chance to speak to the current cohort, and it's been quite pleasing to speak to them on a one-to-one basis with the different engineering disciplines. So we'll be carrying more of that on for the rest of the visit that we have.
Thank you. So during these visits, have you made any specific decisions with the top management of the Zhubanov University?
Yes, we've had very frank and useful discussions with senior management, both on the resources and student performance so far. There's a lot more in the detail of planning that we need to go through, but I think it's to understand the relationships with senior management and then with the academic staff who are going to deliver those programs. That's important, and that's the other reason why we're over here.
Thank you. So we've been discussing the upcoming year 2. I think that question is mostly directed to our existing students. What would be the year 2 look like?
So year 2 is going to be different. We will start teaching in September. We'll have 12 weeks of teaching, and we'll have an examination at the end of that. There'll be a little bit of a break, and then we'll start into another 12 weeks of teaching. That's totally different from what the students have experienced before. So there's a bit more onboarding that we have to do with them to get them into the way of thinking that this is the study pattern. They'll have a lot more come next May, when we finish the academic program. They'll be starting on the specific requirements for the Zhubanov component of the diploma. But then they will have some time to spend in industry. They'll have some time to enjoy themselves a bit more over the summer. And I think they'll see the transition will hit them hard in that. But I think they're looking forward to it. They know we've told them that's what's going to happen to them.
Thank you. So year 2 is going to be mainly with the actual schools, with the actual majors. I think that's news for our students. And many of them have been asking, even from the semester 1 of year 1, about the possibility of having academic mobility, study abroad opportunities for the existing campuses, Dubai, Malaysia, or Edinburgh. Can you elaborate on this topic? Because I'm pretty sure they'll be willing to listen to the answers.
I think when we visited before, that's been the main topic of conversation as well. So we're planning for a percentage of the current cohort to come to the Heriot-Watt campuses, mainly Edinburgh and Malaysia. There might be 2 target ones. So there'll be a small number of students coming over in the first trial of this type of operation. And it's also to make sure that they will be in subject areas because we're offering the same courses at all the campuses, they should be able to fit in directly with those cohorts. And they'll not be just mixing with students from Scotland if they come to Edinburgh, or Malaysian students if they go to Malaysia, because we'll be taking in other people as well from different countries. So it will become a more multinational type of situation they'll find themselves in.
And this is actually part of our the One Heriot-Watt model, which means that because we offer the same programs, that students can seamlessly transfer between our campus, and this is what we would like to do with students here, that they can come and experience more of Heriot-Watt in Dubai, Edinburgh, and Malaysia. So when they come, they just fit into the same program, they continue with their studies, and they have even more international experience than they experience in their existing program. So it should be a very, very nice student experience, but also a very rewarding academic experience as well. As Professor White was saying, that they will be part of another group of students, so there will be time for them to learn in terms of their kind of personal development journey, because they will be meeting new students, and also bring this learning back here when they rejoin their cohort. So we're very much looking forward to extending this unique opportunity which we have at Heriot-Watt here.
One thing I like to add is that some of the courses that we'll have are, it's not just learning in front of a classroom type environment, it's working with other students, it's learning to solve problems, it's learning projects. And I think we'll be striving, as we do with any new course, is mixing. So students that come over will not be all be sitting together. We'll be forcing them to work with other students. So that'll be a big part of the process.
That's a wonderful part of, I think, a credit system, so that students would intermix between different majors. Now, so the fact that students are being enrolled in both systems, the Zhubanov University system, Kazakhstani system, let's say, and the Heriot-Watt system, and students are being like full-time students of Heriot-Watt as well, would make it much easier, as opposed to, let's say, students traveling to other universities which they're not part of for the academic mobility. So it's effectively for a student to change the physical location, while the program stays the same, curriculum is the same, and it's counting towards the same diploma.
I think as well, it's important to realize that students, their learning materials are the same platform. So we'll use an interactive platform. Students here are already signed into that platform, so it should be a seamless transition into year 2. It's the same type of look and feel, and no matter where they'll end up.
Oh, by the way, it's an opportunity for students to use their ID cards, Heriot-Watt ID cards, which are, of course, they're not used here, but...
So this is actually the benefit of this globally integrated institution, Heriot-Watt, is that because we have the same systems, we have the same programs. When we issue the ID cards, the students can use that across all the sites. So the students here in Aktobe has the ID card, so if they come to Edinburgh, they can use all the facilities. When they go to Malaysia, it's the same. They just swipe in the cards using library, other learning and teaching facilities, and it's just kind of normal part of their journey. This is not a kind of a separate study abroad. This is just part of their study, and we hope that the students kind of recognize the uniqueness of it, because they wouldn't be able to do it with any other university in the UK or around the world. This is a very specific kind of Heriot-Watt feature.
Just speaking with ID cards, I can still remember by heart my ID from the university, actually. It's been so important. I can remember those numbers still, and it's been, what is it, a couple of decades at least since that time. So what disciplines are students going to cover? I think, well, we had several questions from our students regarding the disciplines. I know.
Yeah. So the 3 programs, engineering majors that we're offering is going to be software engineering, electrical systems, and petroleum with energy transition. Within those, there are a bunch of 8 courses per year that the students will study, things that to underpin the engineering requirements. And I think it's important to realize it's the engineering degrees that we're offering. It's a specific target area. We're very specific about the disciplines that we are, because we've been asked to support the development of engineers within Kazakhstan. And I think these were the key ones that they were interested in. We'll see where that goes. Future developments will happen.
And I wanted to add for our viewers that while offering the petroleum engineering here at Watt, actually specifically added the energy transition engineering, which mostly deals with the transition from pure resource-based economy to, let's say, a next stage where we would be utilizing the depleted fields, for example, making them green, or maybe capturing the CO2 and pumping it back to the wells?
I was listening to a podcast last night, and the head of our net zero sustainability research and developments at Riccarton was speaking, and she used the word transition engineering. And I think we're in a position where we are transitioning away from those reserves, and every country needs to have a good look at where it's going to obtain its energy in the future. And that's why that degree program is there. And it will involve transmission and conversion of sources into electrical power. And that's why electrical engineering is there. Mm-hmm. And you need to control that. Hence, that's why the software engineering is there, so that the package fits together.
I should add that some of our future employees, especially the petroleum companies, are surprisingly very interested in the majors offered, specifically the energy transition engineering. As our even petroleum companies are getting greener, let's say. I'm not sure if we can use this word for resource obtaining companies. So they're very interested in specific engineers not able to extract the oil and the carbohydrates from the ground, but
I think it's important for the engineers to have a global look at the energy sector, to see where they'll fit in and make a difference as we transition to the future. A lot of the major companies that we work with on a day-to-day basis do have an interest in alternative energies strategies. They are energy companies. They're not oil and gas companies. I think that's another important message to send to youngsters coming through who might want to make that difference.
Thank you. So what do you think are the future perspective for the Zhubanov Heriot-Watt partnership? How do you envisage that?
When we imagined this partnership and worked with you to create a plan, we always saw this as a long-term partnership where we end up with a set of relationships which are so deep. When we're all gone, it will all continue into the future, and it will continue through the students. It will continue through younger academic colleagues who will have their own academic practice growing and will take them around the world, because of course education is international, research is international, and so this is just to start the 3 undergraduate programs. So we're hoping to grow this other, as I said previously, bringing into master's programs, more specialist training, creating opportunities, using our national governments to fund these opportunities as well, if possible, for research projects. And maybe in the future, we will see a research center, research institute forming here in Aktobe, which would talk to industry, talk to business, work with them, which is again something which we do back in Edinburgh. We have these very specialist centres on our campus where we bring the students, where we bring our academics and also industry and business together. So we create an ecosystem where all these players talk to each other and work together. So we're hoping to replicate this, and we feel that the Zhubanov University is a very well established institution with all the capability which would help to realize this vision together. So this was never a short term, never a short project for us. We felt very strongly about the place, the alignments, as we said previously. So it's definitely a long term.
I think as well. I mean, Heriot-Watt is not just we're about research as well as teaching, and now we've got global research institutes setting up across our existing 3 campuses. And it'd be great to see someone a link with Zhubanov University as well, tapping into those key challenges. They are aligned to the UN goals, so it should be fairly straightforward for us to dovetail that together. So.
Speaking of the research, by the way, we're actively using the Bolashak scholarship opportunity. A couple of our colleagues have visited the Heriot-Watt for 11 months last year, and they already came in and successfully joined the Heriot-Watt branch at Zhubanov University. So we hope that more will follow their steps and join the Heriot-Watt and then come back and join and strengthen the Zhubanov team. Thank you very much. So we are at the June of 2024. So we are almost at the end of the very first and crucial academic year. So what are the lessons learned from this year?
If I may,
Go on.
I would say always expect the unexpected, and I think we had that. But I always felt that the strength of the relationship, the friendship, you, Dastan, and all your colleagues, senior management, academic colleagues, and everyone else involved in this project extended to us. That always helped us to get through the difficult parts, because with something like this is so unique. It's not been done before. Heriot-Watt has set up campuses, has worked around the world, but this is different because we're working with you, working with your priorities, working with the national priorities. That's right, and our key partners, the Kazakh government and the Ministry of Education, and we were always very grateful for their support. Also, the support of the British government, the UK ambassador, all the way through this process. So it's been hard, but it's been also very rewarding. Yep. I think individually we all felt that there's been an exceptional experience with the personal side, working in this environment, but also on the professional side as well. If we went back to the beginning, would we do it differently? Probably not. I think the plan we created worked, yep. But the kind of those movements of reflection, the regular meetings, the communication with you and you, Dastan, and also with your teams, the academic teams, that sort of gradually built up, and that helped to get through the difficult bits, the problems, and also making sure that we understand what we're talking about, because there's different terminology, there's different ways of operating,
there has been a lot of challenges
and academics. So you would probably.
I probably concur. I mean, the thing that strikes to mind is when we first came, the Wi-Fi connections, very difficult for us to connect into Wi-Fi. This time, straight into what we call Edge-Your-Own system. It was really seamless when I walked into the building at the beginning of the week. I think that shows that development that, again, senior management is actually instilled in the university as well, to make sure that that system's in place for everyone. It's not just staff, it's in there for students.
Thank you. That's the best feedback, actually. Thank you very much. So now we spoke about the year one, we spoke about the partnership. There are more students hopefully coming in this year. What would be, well, first of all, what are they required to do in order to get into the program? I would give some hints. If you miss it, should be no problem.
Yes.
Well, the students that still come into stage one, they still need a good English qualification.
English qualification exam number one.
The first one.
Vida test, right?
Yes. So we are looking at other qualifications as well, IELTS. That'd be the first one. The other thing is they do need an interest in maths, physics, key ones for all the three programs. For petroleum, perhaps a little bit more interest in chemistry. And then there's the IT systems as well. So these will be the other subjects which we will encourage students who are considering going into this energy industry to have. These are more general subjects, really. They're not really.
So for the English qualification, it's an exam that we're running every week, literally before the July, so that our students have more opportunities. For the math and physics, it's I will translate it to the, let's say, more understandable terms to our students. UNT, United National Testing, which is math, physics, and math informatics in UNT terms. So these are the requirements, right? So for the English examination, what if they fail? Let's say come and fail the exam. Do you have any opportunities to come back and
later date? So I would encourage all the students to come and take the exam. They run every Friday. And there's also the opportunity to meet with us, meet with colleagues. So if students got any questions, or if they would like to bring their parents and the parents have any questions, we are very, very happy to meet with them. It's always interesting to hear the parents and what considerations they take, because of course they're so invested in the future of their children. And that's something we're very much used to, that happens in Edinburgh as well. So I would encourage everyone to check the dates, come to Zhubanov University and meet us, and also all the questions which they need. But crucially, English and academic requirements will have to be met.
The English, if they don't have an ability to get an IELTS score, the English examination is free, is it not?
That's right.
Yeah. So that's a wonderful opportunity for them to try. Now, what would be your messages to the prospective students?
This is a unique opportunity, once in a lifetime, to come and study in an international program delivered by 2 universities, getting 2 diplomas here in Aktobe, supported by the state grant. So I would say you won't find it anywhere else, only in Aktobe. So please come and join our program.
Thank you so much.
I think, from my point of view, I'm a graduate for Heriot-Watt myself. When we started, there was no international type development. So opportunities like this don't come along every day. It's very special. So it's unique. It'll give the students, the graduates, I think I've said this on a podcast before, I mean, the unique 2 diplomas, and they can do immense good with those 2 certificates.
Thank you very much, dear colleagues. It's been an episode with our colleagues, our guests from the Heriot-Watt University, visiting us quite frequently. It's the first time we are recording a podcast. I think we should have done it earlier, actually, but it's never too late. Exactly. So thank you all very much.